This man is a menace. He is very fast. He is very strong. Greg Cody has predicted that he is going to lead the league in sacks, maybe get 20 of them. Mina Kimes is putting him in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. And also, I just noticed right before we started, he has exactly the voice that you would want from a menacing monster. He has, you have some pipes, sir. Thank you for being on the show. You seem to be surprised by what it is that I've said, that Homer Greg Cody thinks you're going to lead the league in sacks, and that Mina Kimes says you have a chance to be Defensive Player of the Year. Are you surprised to hear that, or are you like, no, that's going to happen?
Well, first of all, I'm good to see you, Dan. Thank you for having me on the show. Good to see you guys. Yeah, that definitely surprises me. Hey, it sounds great. 20 sacks, that would be amazing. But man, I'm gonna just take it day by day, see what happens.
Can you tell us a little bit about your path to get to where you are? It is very hard in this sport to make money rushing the passer and have the athleticism and strength necessary to do so. Where along the journey did you find yourself not exactly where you are now, knowing that you're good at this?
Yeah, so I came out of high school, #1 recruit in the country, committed to UCLA, went there my freshman year, dealt with some injuries, and then my sophomore year, got in a car accident, had a pretty major surgery on my wrist, a few concussions, ended up retiring from the sport. So at that point, didn't think I'd ever be able to play again, really was focusing on, different career paths and things like that. And then I was blessed with the opportunity to come to the University of Miami, and then, the rest is history.
When you were thinking about retiring, what was happening there? Like, how far away were you? Like, what made you say, yeah, no more?
I mean, I was just, going through a lot at the time. Obviously, like I said, the major surgeries, and then with the concussions, and just, dealing with a lot of personal things as well. Just trying to figure out who I was in life and what I wanted to do with my life. So, during that time, I was blessed to be able to kind of find myself a little bit and do a lot of personal growth. And I think obviously that was invaluable for me as a man. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything. It was definitely a tumultuous journey, but I think it really shaped me into who I am now.
Jaelan, help us settle a little debate here. Is Mike McDaniel cool?
What do you guys think?
Well, I think he's pretty cool. I do.
Well, we're torn. We think he's kind of dorky, but we like that he's authentically himself. And if you're authentically yourself, then you can indeed be cool.
Jaelan, do you think they should be making a judgment?
Dorkiness.
Do you think they should be making a judgment on someone else's cool?
Fair point.
Yeah, exactly right.
Hey,
you were very quick with that response.
Hey.
In fairness, they were asking.
No, you guys are all cool, but Mike, you said it perfectly. I mean, he's just himself every day, and I respect that a lot. So regardless of if people think that's cool or not, I don't think he really cares.
On the other side of the spectrum, tell us what Vic Fangio is like and how the defense has changed for you, because you're blitzing a lot less. Not you personally, but everybody. The team is blitzing a lot less. What's Fangio been like so far?
Oh yeah, he's been incredible, man. He's an old school dude through and through. Real hard nosed old school football. So I think that's the energy he brings, and that's what he expects out of us too. So it's honestly been a great transition. We love playing for him. The defense has been great so far. Obviously, a lot to work on from this last week, but really excited for the direction we're headed in.
What are the chances that one of the adjustments is he comes down from the booth onto the field? I think he's got to get his hands in the dirt a little bit.
He should do that.
That's one of
I don't know. I think he likes to have that eagle eye view, man. We call him Lord Fangio, man. He just kind of oversees everything.
But as a player, you want him on the sidelines, right? Like you want to feel like he's in the game with you, don't you?
Probably not, because then when you mess up, you're gonna see him hand to hand, eye to eye. So yeah, I'll take my position coaches. They can give me the corrections, and then I'll.
Did I hear you correctly? You say we call him Lord Fangio?
Of course.
Yeah, you have to.
You didn't hear that from me.
Lord Fangs. Nickname. Yeah.
Lord Fangs. Lord Fangs is kind of a great person to be leading any kind of defense.
Honestly.
What a ridiculous nickname.
Jaelan, I can't help but notice, and fans of a certain age will probably get the reference on your shirt. You're shouting out Ed, and Eddie with a Jaelan T-shirt. And it reminds me that you're 24 years old, and your experiences are probably a lot more different than the people questioning cool on the other side of the glass.
I didn't do that. That was Stugotz.
Yeah. What was your first experience with music? Did you ever have a CD, or is MP3 the only experience you had in searching out music?
No, I used to burn CDs, man. I'm not a 2000s baby. I'm a 99 baby.
Ooh, you a Napster boy?
I barely got the cutoff, but
Bear
yeah, I used
Share,
to burn
LimeWire.
CDs, did some mixes. I had a little iPod, the one that didn't have the screen, the little iPod Nano. So yeah, I'm old school, man. Come on.
Can you?
The iPod Shuffle is old school to you guys.
Exactly. The shuffle. That's what it was.
Well, Lord Fang said that you guys don't play music in the locker room. That's just noise. That he prefers his 60s and
Classic Lord Fang.
That the stuff in the locker room is just noise. Your rebuttal to that is what?
I don't really have a rebuttal to that, honestly. But yeah, he definitely doesn't like the music that's playing in practice. He's always just kind of giving us a side eye when we're all singing during practice and stuff like that. But I'd argue that, it definitely is music. It's not just noise. That's just the old school in him.
Jalen, when you're in charge of the playlist at practice, where do you go?
I try to mix it up. I do have a little bit of that music background. So, when I had the DJ, when I was a DJ back in camp, I had some Elton John on there. I had, who else did I have on there? I had some Don McLean. I had obviously a little Kanye, some of the modern stuff. I had Travis Scott on there. So it's eclectic. I like to mix it up. I got to show some love to the fans, show some love to Lord Fangs, all the
Lord Fangs.
It's a great nickname, man.
Perfect. Jalen, is the debate over? Did the Dolphins win the 2020 draft?
Speaks for itself, man.
So yes.
Hey, all I can say is my boy Tua was balling. My boy AJ was balling. I'm not sure who else is from the 2020, but all the boys were doing their thing.
I can't help but notice your nose is a little swollen. You got a cut on there. Did you injure your nose in this football game? If so, when?
Well, I'm glad that you called it out because I don't want people to think I'm just out here with a honker. But yeah, I did get hit in the nose. You see the bruise there and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got, a little scratch on there. It's battle wounds, man.
What is the worst that you felt after a game? The battle wounds were the worst when?
Oh, man. Well, I'm feeling pretty bad today, so
For the Jets?
This is definitely up there. But I'd say probably, man, after the Bills game, the playoff game last year, or the game before the playoff game, the one in late December, I was pretty damn sore after that one. So it's hard to tell. It's all a blur. I feel like I got in a car accident after every game.
As a Miami Dolphin, but also as a football player, were you watching the game last night? Did you find yourself feeling bad for Aaron Rodgers and or the New York Jets?
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible, man. You hate to see that. No matter what it is with division rivalries and stuff like that, I mean, none of that matters. At the end of the day, we're all kind of brothers in this, you know what I'm saying? It's a brotherhood. So to see someone go down like that is really unfortunate. So prayers up to him. I really wish him all the best.
I want to play for you some sound here and for you to take us back to here. Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce have a very fun podcast together, very popular podcast together, New Heights. Let's play for Jaelan Phillips, something you may have already heard, a great story that Jason Kelce told.
I think I know where this is going.
Something about a good insult where it's like you can't even get mad at it. It's just great.
You got to tell the one, man.
Which one? I got a bunch.
You got to tell the Miami joint practice one.
Dude, Wilkins was talking trash just in the practice. So he was talking trash, and then I started yapping at him, which pretty big party foul by me because I wasn't able to practice.
You were practicing, yeah.
So I'm over here yelling, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jaelan Phillips says, "Shut up, eyebrows. You ain't even practicing." And I was like, dude, this just called me eyebrows? Like, I can't even come back from that. Like,
that boy got some thick-ass eyebrows, man.
Like the dad from American Pie. I mean, it's, there ain't too many dudes got eyebrows like this.
Take us through that, please, Jaelan.
I can't lie. I was proud of that one. That was a good one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he said it perfectly. We were out there practicing. It was getting real chippy. Christian was talking some smack to them, and I heard him chirp back, and he wasn't, like he said, he wasn't practicing. And I mean, that's the first thing I noticed was those big ass eyebrows. I had to just call it out. So yeah, like I said, I'm proud of that one. Who's
better at that on your D line, you or Wilkins?
Oh, come on. Christian's better at that. Christian is top tier, man. He's,
Well, take us through it. Give me a time, if there's any memorable one you can recall, where you're lining up and you're laughing because he won't shut up.
Oh, man. Christian, He just says like some of the most random stuff. Like he'll just yell things out. I can't even remember anything specifically, but I mean, Christian's known to snatch towels from people. He's known to just, oh man, he's hilarious. He's a character.
Who are some of the guys on your team specifically, Jaelan? Because you're an incredible athlete. It's ridiculous how athletic you are. Who are some of the guys on the team that you look at and say, that I'm awed by that particular athleticism, strength, whatever?
Mr. Tyreek Hill is the first person that comes to mind. I mean, it's literally, there's no words for it. I mean, he just is different, very different. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody like him. So, I mean, he's incredible. Other dudes, I mean, Bradley's a hell of an athlete. Big Raekwon holding it down the middle. He's strong as hell. You should see what he does in the weight room. Guys on our offense, Jalen Waddle is up there with Tyreek. Tua's that's a specimen right there too. Everybody wants to hate on Tua, but that's peak male athleticism right there. But nah, man, we got some studs. We definitely do.
Jaelan, most players go their whole career and not see a quarterback teammate throw for 466 yards. Tell me what the sideline was like Sunday when you're in the middle of watching Tua and Tyreek do their thing.
I think the biggest thing that stood out was that we never really wavered. We always had utmost confidence in Tua and the offense to be able to get it done. And I think that's so important because you guys know as much as I do that in football, it's all about momentum, and a lot of it is the mental game. So, if we're out there and we're worried, like, oh man, we're not holding them enough on defense. Like, I don't know if the offense is going to be able to score, then that can throw us off the game and take us away from really what's important. And so, for us to be able to trust Tua and the guys like that is really invaluable for us. And so, I think that's really what it was. But I mean, we were just blown away. Like some of the things that they do is just ridiculous. You just have to sit back and go, like, wow.
Does it feel to you like their hope and the expectations around this team are larger, not that you've been there that long, but larger than what you've normally seen in this facility, even from people who may have been there longer than you?
I think that the expectations were pretty high last year too. So I'd say it's kind of on par with that, almost just a continuation from that. I think people saw, a lot of the potential that we have, after last season. And so I think it was kind of the same thing rolling over. I think obviously last year with Tyreek coming in and then this year with Jaelan coming in, there's just kind of revamps that hype a little bit. But I think in the building, we really try to stay present and stay focused. That's kind of one of the main things that Mike harps on is, can't look down the road because at the end of the day, he says, your presence is a present. So, I mean, you got to just be where your feet are and handle business day by day.
What's the most frustrated you've been playing against somebody? Jason Taylor told us that for him it was Tony Baselli. There are some guys in the league that make it very, very difficult. I don't know if you've found it very, very difficult, but give me a guy who frustrated you.
Josh Allen's a guy who was very frustrating to play against sometimes just because, he's so mobile and athletic that, you might be literally an inch away from a sack and he just, makes one move or spins out or does something. And that can get really frustrating throughout the course of the game because obviously you want to have that production for your team. Josh Allen's a guy, definitely frustrating. There's been a handful of tackles in the league. Trent Brown last year, game one last year, that was something that was really frustrating. Just, sometimes it just feels like your best stuff isn't good enough. And so that's when you really got to dig deep and have that mental fortitude to not let that get you off your game and just, keep going, trying to stack them.
Were you surprised that Mack and Bosa couldn't get to the quarterback?
No, I wasn't surprised, man. I go against Austin and Kendall every day. So I think that the work they've been doing this offseason has been huge for them. And I think it's really iron sharpening iron. Bradley and I going against them every day, they get us better, we get them better. So I think it's been working out really well for all of us.
You say that, but you're aware the team hasn't won a playoff game during Stephen Ross's ownership and that they've done nothing but draft offensive linemen without being able to block anybody for 15 years. Like you say that, but – and I know those guys are good because I saw it, but I haven't seen a Dolphin offensive line block correctly in 15 years.
Well, hey, none of that matters anymore. And I thought you were a fan too, man.
Who was
He's
that?
not a fan.
Who was that?
He's a hater.
Greg
Whoa.
Cody's a fan.
Proud of
Greg
yourself to
Cody's
get
a
your
fan.
take off
A little
there.
aggressive, Dan.
Cody has you
Come
getting
on.
20 sacks. I mean, come on.
Who was that in the background chiming in? Does he have somebody in his background chiming in from off mic? I heard somebody off mic saying, "What is this guy? This guy's a hater." You guys haven't.
You shall not be named.
Cody, am I wrong?
Is it just blink twice if it's Dan Marino?
Am I wrong?
I did hear somebody. Must have been an offensive lineman.
Am I wrong about this though? I mean, I just thought it was.
Don't say it again. You said it. We got it.
We get it.
Look,
We get it.
all I know is them boys did their thing on Sunday, and they're going to keep doing their
That's
thing.
right.
So.
Well, to Dan's point, your best offensive lineman didn't play in the game, Terran Armstead. So, you know,
I was surprised that those two guys couldn't get to the quarterback. I don't even mean it as a slight on the
But
offensive
Jaelan
line.
wasn't. Yeah.
Those two guys are very good at getting at the quarterback.
You know, they definitely are. So, yeah, the surprise, if anything, for me, you know, like I said, it wasn't ever doubting our offensive line's ability. It's just, you know, obviously when you have elite guys like, you know, Khalil and Joey like that, obviously they're always a threat to get to the quarterback. So it's valid. I'll give you that, Dan.
You made it weird.
Thanks for making it weird.
Why do you always do
You
that?
made it weird. Asshole.
Jaelan, thank you. Good seeing you again. Thank you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Jay.
We are going
Go
to
Canes.
have a Dolphin on every week this year after the game.
are?
Every single
Well, we
week.
were.
Yeah,
You know, we'll
until
see.
then.
Yeah, we'll see.
Until then.
Shane, things might
Yeah, you
change.
might be shadow banned from the Dolphins.
Last time for Jaelan, certainly.
All right, you guys, take it easy.
Thank you, Jaelan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jaelan.
Greg Cody, that microphone that's far away needs to be in front of
Sorry.
your mouth when we start segments
I know.
to do
You're right.
the show.
Raising
I have, what was that?
He said raise it a little, so I said raising it. Mm-hmm. I can't help myself.
But all the audience heard was raising it.
If you were trying to make a California Raisins joke with I can't help myself, kudos to you, but I don't think you're that
Yeah,
clever.
no, I was. Thank you. It's a great commercial.
You've been particularly bad today, even by your standards.
Thank you.
Poison.
I believe there's a problem, not poisoning. His wife is not trying to poison him. His wife, he alleges, is trying to make sure he overdoses by his own choice with putting things in his mouth. It's not poisoning himself.
Well, it kind of is.
Well, we'll get to that later. Do you think Jaelan Phillips knows who the California Raisins are?
You say we'll get to this later, Mike, but this is the dilemma that I have right now because the Aaron Rodgers news is now official.
Great.
What the hell's a California raisin? Like a raisin from California?
You don't know what the California Raisins
It's like the
are?
California Angels. Like, yeah, they were there. Okay, I don't know.
Got a AAA team.
Now they're the Los Angeles Raisins of California,
That's right.
of Anaheim.
This is the issue that I have right now. It is very hard for me to get to the subject matter of the news right now that is official. Aaron Rodgers is out for the season. He has torn his Achilles. An amazing thing to happen to a cursed franchise. That way wasn't even late in the game. Right when they started. Right after, on behalf of the league. I'm telling you, comedy writers would write this. Dark comedy writers. On behalf of the league, I'm taking this flag, all of America. We're going to wave it back and forth. No more Kaepernick. It's just Aaron Rodgers as the symbol for this sport on a Monday night. And then he goes down because
The Jets, Dan.
because the Jets.
Yes.
But I can't get to it right away because we've got a number of other things here that I think are important. One of them, Shannon Sharp cannot stop calling Stephen A. Smith Skip.
I love it.
It's so good. And it happens to me in arguments with people who are not Stugotz. I will accidentally call them Stugotz when I'm starting a sentence. Not peers, not coworkers, not in settings.
Your wife?
Yes, my wife, my brother. I'll start something with Stugotz.
Yeah.
It's hard to break.
I've called Abby Dan.
Shannon Sharp can't stop calling Stephen A. Smith Skip. It's happened now a number of different times.
Stephen A. wore a name tag in one day.
Yeah, it keeps happening. It's going to happen for a while in the transition. Also, a big day for us. If you're noticing what is happening in the business of content making. Peyton Manning, I saw reported the other day, Omaha Productions, more than 40 employees, is now worth $400 million, more than he made in his career. These are the deals that McAfee just tore up a deal like ours. We're trying to build a company here that is for the future of whatever television is. And today, the DraftKings channel starts on Roku. What we're building here is for now, but it's also for whatever this is all going to look like 5 years from now. We wanted to own as a company our own, the way Peyton owns his stuff. And today, all of us start on Roku. It's a fast channel, and I just pronounced it. I just put the accent in the wrong place.
Roku?
Yeah, it's also DraftKings Network.
What is Roku?
Well,
I apologize.
Good question,
I don't
Greg.
know. Sounds like a side dish in a Japanese restaurant.
It's available in 73.5 million homes worldwide.
A side of Roku?
Yeah, please.
It's true.
Sounds delicious, actually.
It does sound like that.
Really good.
If you want, because we're building out a video department and we've been building it, you've heard the growing pains. If you're interested in what the future of television looks like, this is these fast channels and things that aren't where you get your traditional sports media. That's where we're going to be as we continue to try and grow all the things that are out here, because we have more employees, it seems like, than Omaha Productions, which is just, it's Peyton Manning, and basically what can you build around Peyton Manning stuff
I'm
with
just
a
a
bunch
little
of
confused.
employees.
Is this a promo for us on Roku or for Omaha Productions?
Right.
What this is to explain. I'm torn here. Perhaps you guys can help me, because I don't know how interesting the people listening to this find this part of the business about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're doing it. But I thought they'd find it interesting.
I think, hey, we're on Roku now would suffice.
That was enough?
I'm excited about it.
Right.
So many freaking people have Roku. And fast channels, it's basically like what used to be cable television is now back in, because all of these streaming platforms have their fast channels, and the viewership numbers are insane. Places like Pluto and Roku and even Peacock. Places that
Pluto.
Yeah. Pluto
Happened to Channel 10.
You'd be surprised, like
Exactly. Zagacki.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju. What the hell ever happened to Channel 10?
Where do we stand on Pluto? Is it currently a planet or not?
It's not, but it should be.
Yeah, it was defrocked.
Now it's a streaming service.
But I thought
apparently.
it came back, Jack.
No, I wish it had. I have a Pluto T-shirt that I'm going to wear next week.
I thought you were going to say, I wish it had Chad. I thought that's what
Chad.
you were going to say back to him.
Yeah, it's not my repertoire, but I wish it were.
It is not Channel 10, and we are excited about it, but we can't talk about that either, because there are a number of topics that I want to get to on a Greg Cody Tuesday, including he's got thoughts on bowling.
Yeah.
He is dealing with the fact that he doesn't want to cut his hair, and also his wife is trying to get him to overdose. So which of those would you like to talk about? Because we have not had enough Greg Cody on the show today.
Yeah, let's not forget Dadder Day. But I want to start with my wife trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What is Dadder Day?
Well, Dadder Day is a project, an initiative, I like to call it. I'm trying to get it off the ground. Dadder Day is a future Saturday where I'm trying to enlist both of my sons, my young adult, strapping, strong sons, to help Dad with several hours of yard work. Greg Cody recognizes that he's getting a little older. He needs help. He doesn't want to spend money to hire help, so he wants to enlist his sons on a Dadder Day.
For free.
Now
I
offered to pay 2 people to go for me, so it would be Michael and 2 people.
No, that defeats
then you'd
the
be
whole
getting
purpose.
3 people. Think about how efficient that would be.
That's not the spirit, Chris.
It's not the spirit.
Right.
Are they dads?
Little father-son time.
Yes.
They both will have dads.
No, we need Dadder Day to get off the ground.
Yeah.
And I've already told Christopher, know somebody with a pickup truck or rent a truck, because I'm talking about 40 to 50 bags of mulch, 40 to 50 bags of topsoil.
Put them to work, Greg.
A couple of giant bougainvilleas.
Oh.
Other
So many
plants,
injuries.
maybe a half a dozen crotons. There's a lot of planting we have to do all around the yard. We have a corner lot, bigger than average lot, and we need a Dadder Day.
50
to take
bags
care
of mulch is a ridiculous amount of mulch.
No, I'm a mulcher.
Yeah, it's true. I have a question about Daturday. So is Daturday going to be a fixed day, or is it going to be at your discretion each year and say this weekend is Daturday?
We hope to turn it into an annual event. That hasn't been discussed yet, but we
I don't
hope
understand.
to turn it
If I
into an
pay
annual
two
event.
people,
No.
if I don't
Not
do
the
that, you're
spirit of
getting two
Daturday.
people who don't want to be there. If I pay two people, you're getting one person who doesn't want to be there and two people very eager to help.
That have to be there. Right.
Okay, in the spirit of Daturday, I would like to think my sons would at least fake the idea that they're interested in helping their dad so much that sure they'll do that. And obviously, I'm going to feed you. I'll have unlimited water. Might
Very nice
you know,
of you.
bring in
Straight from the hose, yeah.
a lunch thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
That kind of
you know,
thing,
we're
yeah.
going to take
Catering?
care of you. Well, not catering. Let's not get carried away. I mean, come on.
I have a
Split a sandwich.
Yeah, right.
I have a question, Greg, and we've kind of discussed this on Father's Day in the past. Now, here's a complication in Daturday. If Daturday is not just at your discretion and you want a Daturday every year and it's going to be celebrated, Chris himself is a dad, too, so this will be taking him away from his child on Daturday.
Well, you know, 20 years from now, when Christopher feels like, you know, his bones are creaking, maybe he will enlist his offspring on a Daturday of his own. Maybe this is a thing that catches on in the generations.
That makes sense.
You know, it's just like PFBI now. You know, we've expanded from 6 teams to 8 by adding Tati's llamas and Graceland's
My
giraffes.
daughter's in it now.
And just like
She
that,
went 9-7 first week.
perhaps Daturday becomes a generational tradition in the Cody family. So we hope that. But for now, it's up to the two sons to agree on a Saturday. It's got to be a day that I'm available because, you know, I'm a can-do person. I'm a natural organizer. I will be doing very little heavy lifting, but I will be directing, delegating.
This is a new and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
We are sucking ass on time. An ass is being sucked by us in the shape of a clock. So please, everyone,
more fun doing
stop
the
trying
show
to be
today.
human. Stop trying to
much
be
more fun
nice.
today. So much more fun today than
The f is happening.
let's go with these clocks. These
If he coughs, he coughs.
Yeah.
We've done plenty of segments with him coughing.
If he dies, he dies.
he's in
Oh, wait a
bad
minute now.
shape.
Stop drinking Diet Coke.
All right,
What do you mean, wait a minute?
let's talk this out. I need to know.
No,
talk
I
this
need my
out.
Aaron Rodgers segment, and I want it now.
This segment started 35 seconds ago. Here's where we are in the show. I'm going to explain it to people because there's a lot of pressure on here. It's annoying. We're on a new channel and we're trying to do a television show
Roku.
with a side order of Roku. And I'm trying to do a show on what I've told you is a difficult day. Look at Tony right now. Just
Estoy esperando.
okay. Just
Always looking at Tony.
Look,
What happened?
I want the camera on Tony so people understand the duress that I'm under because it's a big day around here for a lot of reasons. One of them is Stugotz is in genuine pain. Aaron Rodgers is out. It is done for the season. It is official. I don't know that there is a single thing, maybe Tua being injured week 1, the same kind of way with a concussion. But I can't think of a story, not one, in sports in my imagination that would hurt the way that one did, where Season of Hope gets wrecked a couple of plays in.
How about losing to that team without Aaron Rodgers? I mean,
You think the focus should be on the Bills today?
it should be on Josh Allen, yeah. I mean, he's considered elite, and he's not elite. I mean, he's just not. Like, to have him in that conversation with Mahomes and Burrow after the last 2 seasons is ludicrous. It really is. I am trying to
him
sprint
down.
I am trying to sprint away from Aaron Rodgers.
What I know is
want
happening.
nothing
All
to
right,
do with it.
you know what?
I mean,
Let's do this then. Fine. We're going to do this Stugotz's way. We'll do it your way. Everybody wants. Stugotz, you just don't know how rare it is. Everyone's gathered around here because they want to hear how Stugotz actually feels. But then while I'm doing this, Greg Cody says his wife is trying to get him to overdose. And here's the problem. Then he has a coughing fit during the break. I've been worried about his mortality for several years now. He can't do anything but cough his way through a show. He came in here today, as I remind you, looking embalmed.
You guys are dinosaurs. You're still doing a radio show.
What do you
we
mean?
grow the show with intro. The news is coming in. MRI results. He has torn his Achilles. Aaron Rodgers' season is done. What does this mean for his career? Stugotz, your thoughts. And that's how we game the system. That's how we grow.
I'm trying to do it that way.
Wait a
No,
second.
you're not.
Wait a second. But Greg's wife trying to kill him is a bigger story.
This is
No,
the thing.
it isn't.
This is the thing.
How is it not?
Respectfully.
His wife's trying to murder
This is
him.
the
Respectfully.
thing.
Now, if you want to die, do it on air so we can also get
All right, and
more
this is-
views.
okay, this is where we are. This
On
I know.
Roku.
I need to explain. That's right, with a side of Roku.
Rakatan.
Different company.
Not even how you say it.
Sorry. What happened to Channel 10?
I know, right?
Right, well,
Ridiculous.
where is he?
Zulu and Hulu and ridiculous.
We've got an embalmed Greg Cody, and there are a number of stories I need to get to with him. Bowling, why he won't cut his hair, and why his wife allegedly keeps saying he's trying to poison him.
All
I
hot
just
button issues.
texted my mom to see if she's trying to poison him.
like she's going to admit it.
Layout. The news has come in. Aaron Rodgers has torn his Achilles. Dan Le Batard, Greg Cody, Stugotz, what are your thoughts?
Now that we're on the DraftKings network with a side of Roku, ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. Aaron Rodgers, in the most calamitous and funniest way possible, has torn his Achilles. The Jet season is over. 3 plays in, 1 pass in, 1 career attempt, 0 yards. That is the career of Aaron Rodgers. As the foremost authority in our land, you and Mike Greenberg, where people want to go laugh, it is the greatest of sports delicacies, the greatest profit center. How can I laugh at somebody else's fan base because they're in pain?
It's sad, Greenie.
You know what's interesting, though? I have found that people actually feel bad for the Jets, for Aaron Rodgers, and Jet fans. I have found that over, I guess, the last 18 hours or so.
Thank you, Stugotz. And what I would say to you, there is a photo of Dominic Foxworth at Mike Greenberg.
Just laughing at Greeny.
Greenberg's
So
house.
great. Yeah.
What I will say to you, and I need to say it clearly because this does not happen that often in the history of sports, where football behind the American flag on a Monday night gives you, Stugotz, McAfee's in the football game, $17 million a year. Peyton Manning and his brother are doing a simulcast. We're all gathered around the television
Them again, huh?
to watch these football games. And last night, you get right at the start something that has nothing to do with football. Do you know how hard it is to go on a Monday night for the football after to not matter at all? The story happened in the first minute of their season and fell apart. Everything that happened after that did not matter. But people don't
You're
want...
wrong. That's the amazing thing of the evening, Dan. When that happened to Aaron Rodgers, I said to myself, I was crushed. I didn't move. I stayed there. I sat on my couch for an hour without moving. I finally called my daughter, tried to get her to rally the fans there for Zach Wilson.
Do you guys believe this?
No. Oh, I did. I mean,
do.
my daughter's texting me nonstop. I saw
do.
video of her there.
Yeah, I follow Stugotz's daughter on Instagram, and I was always on top of the stories because a part of me thought Stugotz was trying to get out of here early so he could hop on a bird, go watch the game at MetLife, and fly back while hiding it from us.
Yesterday?
Glad I didn't do that. I mean...
I'm sure he considered it, and I'm sure he considered telling his daughter no videos of me.
But Dan, you are wrong, because in that moment, I thought to myself, there is no way this evening is going to end with any sort of feel good. And it did. It ended with a great story. Right. It ended with a great victory.
Yes, it did. But Stugotz, honestly, buddy.
And we have options at quarterback.
Wait, I have one curiosity,
Options.
though. Your wife was in New York for the game with your daughter.
Yeah.
And your wife has banned a lot of your Jet friends from coming over to the house.
Just Mikey T.
Yeah. Well, was the ban lifted for this game with Abby out of town?
Mikey T did not come over last night. No.
You had a similar sad watching experience, like a group watch?
No, it was just me and Finney.
Oh, that's even sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
Holy crap, is that sad?
And a joint, of course.
Oh, okay.
The sad joint, the rare.
Yeah, but inside, it was great.
This is
it's gone for the weekend.
This is why I said I would have paid as a media company if Stugotz were thinking as a businessman instead of just trying to steal things.
What?
I would have paid a substantive amount of money for Stugotz to capitalize on the sports moment of the sports moments where people want my genuine thoughts. Dominic Foxworth is seen behind a crushed Mike Greenberg. It has exploded. People want to hear from Stugotz. He's sad hiding in his house, smoking a joint, knowing that inside the house that the internet is laughing at him. But today, on DraftKings Network with a side of Roku, people want to hear how Stugotz really feels. Not like, get me this quarterback. Not like, did you hurt? Did it hurt? Like, yes, the feel-good story in the short term. You know your season stopped mattering last night.
Dan, no, it did not stop mattering. They're 1-0. Zach Wilson was good enough. Just don't lose the game, okay? That's all you have to do is go out there and not lose the game. How did I feel? I felt miserable. I was high, but I felt miserable, Dan. I felt lousy, but for some reason I was not surprised because when you're a Jet fan, I have told you this now for 20 years, we are a tortured fan base, and you expect the worst, and the worst usually happens. And it happened last night on national TV with the entire world laughing at me, at the fan base, and at the Jets organization. And maybe to some extent we deserve that because this organization has been a laughingstock for 40 years. I have been a fan of this team for 40 years. And these are the types of things that happen to our team. And so when I tell you, I'm surprised that Aaron Rodgers made it to opening night because he didn't get injured in some freak accident during training camp, I'm being serious. I'm not doing it to get any sort of reaction. These are the things that happen to the Jets, okay? Our best coach, I have said this a million times, should have been Bill Belichick. It wasn't. It was Rex Ryan. Our best coach, since I've been a fan of the Jets, had a foot fetish. Our best quarterback should have been Dan Marino. It wasn't. Maybe it was Ken O'Brien. Maybe it was Chad Pennington. Maybe it was the 8 or 9 games of Brett Favre, who also got injured when the Jets were in first place that season. These are the things that happen to the Jets. These are the things that happen to their fans. And so I want to tell you that I'm numb to it because I am. I am numb to it.
Well, you're high.
Well, I was high, too.
That's why you were numb?
But, Dan, I expected the worst, and you know what I got?
Worse than
I got
that.
the worst.
You got
Well,
worse
actually,
than that.
I got the worst.
If you expected the worst, then there's no way you expected to beat Josh Allen with Zach Wilson, and you found a way to do that.
That was a happy surprise, Mike.
When I was a long-suffering Browns fan, no longer, I always took exception to, no, you guys aren't more cursed than us. But now that I've separated the emotion from it and I'm no longer a Browns fan, they haven't had many seasons of expectation. And usually those expectations come with a quarterback that they've actually seen it on the field. Vinny Testaverde, the season after they go to the AFC Championship game, torn Achilles. Chad Pennington, the best quarterback they had after fumbling their way through it. They finally feel like they have a quarterback, Achilles injury. And now, for the third time, a season with great expectations and a quarterback you can trust who's a veteran, who's seen it, Achilles injury.
Mm-hmm. We're the team that produced the butt fumble. I mean, that's who we are. We're that team. Like, I know other teams and fan bases think they have it bad. No. No one has it worse than Jet fans. I am sorry. I don't want to hear from Lion fans today. I don't want to hear from any other fan base. There is no fan base in the history of sports that has it worse than the Jet fan base.
All right.
Absolutely brutal.
Stugotz, let's do this here then finally, please, to conclude this segment that is Jetserific because...
1-0, though.
1-0, yes. Mike, please get the sound after the butt fumble of all of those Jets fans that were behind the tunnel screaming at a backup Tim Tebow because Mark Sanchez had run into the butt of one of his offensive linemen and fumbled. This is what the Jets are after one of their greatest teams ever with Rex Ryan.
Tebow, I want you in the second half. I want you to go. Tebow, save us. Tebow, Sanchez, you piece of you suck, Sanchez.
They're right. I don't blame them. I mean, we do suck. We're a lousy organization.
My point is, though,
Dan, we take Zach Wilson. We take Sam Darnold. We reach for Favre and Rodgers at the end of their careers when they could get injured. Why? Because we can never get the quarterback position right.
It doesn't help, and it's lewd behavior. But, boy, in that moment, does calling someone a piece of really help?
It does.
Yeah. Sanchez, you piece of I feel better already.
I call Rodgers a piece of
Bomb! No! It wasn't about his character.
It was in the moment, right? Not about his character. Dan, I was high. I mean,
Come on. I thought it made
Indoors,
you
yeah.
calmer, nicer.